I'm 94 years old. I live alone. I do not take a single medicine. You might think this sounds impossible, but let me tell you something from my soul. Many people my age are already gone or stuck in beds, their days full of pills and nurses. Yet here I am, breathing deep, walking every morning, cooking my own meals, laughing out loud when a bird sits on my window. I want to share with you why I believe I have stayed healthier than people half my age. It is not about expensive supplements or magical diets. It is about the quiet power of small choices that build up over time. These choices are my morning secrets. They are habits as simple as a quiet breath, but as powerful as a mountain. When I open my eyes every morning, I do not jump up. I lie there and feel the warmth of the blanket against my skin. I listen to my breath. In that first moment, I remember that life itself is the greatest gift. Many people wake up and reach for their phones or start listing tasks in their heads. They are already lost before the day even begins. Instead, I lie still and thank the day for arriving. Gratitude is not just a word for me. It is an energy that runs deeper than the veins in my body. When you start your morning with gratitude, the body releases calmness. Science tells us it reduces stress hormones, but for me, it is even more. It reminds me I am part of something bigger than myself. The sky, the earth, the wind, when you feel that connection, you do not feel old, you feel eternal. After this quiet gratitude, I rise slowly. I move my arms and legs like a tree stretches its branches. I learned this from Shi Heng Yi, the Shaolin master who speaks about the unity of mind and body. Movement is not exercise for me, it is prayer. Each small stretch wakes up my blood, my bones, and my spirit. I do not measure repetitions or count seconds. I move until I feel the warmth inside, until I feel the stiffness dissolve. I imagine the body as a river. If it stops moving, it becomes stagnant and full of disease. But if it flows, it stays clear and full of life. Young people rush to gyms and lift heavy weights, but they often ignore the quiet intelligence of their own bodies. In my 9th decade, I learned to listen to my joints, to treat them like dear old friends. I believe that has kept me out of the doctor's office more than any medicine. After moving, I do something that might surprise you. I sit down to breathe. Yes, just breathe. I do not call it meditation. I call it returning home. When you breathe deeply, your mind begins to soften. All the worries, fears, and regrets turn into distant echoes. The breath teaches us one of the greatest truths of life. Everything passes. Each inhale is a birth. Each exhale is a death. When you see life this way, your problems lose their power over you. You start to see the dance of life instead of the struggle. Sometimes I imagine I am sitting by a quiet lake. The surface is calm. The reflections are clear. In that silence, I hear my own heart speaking. It says, "You are enough. You have always been enough." In that moment, age disappears. Time disappears. Only presence remains. Next, I prepare my morning drink. Not coffee, not sugary tea. Just warm water with a slice of lemon. I know some might find this too simple, but simplicity has been my greatest teacher. The warm water wakes up the stomach. It gently signals the organs to start their work. The lemon adds a light, cleansing touch. I have followed this habit for decades. It keeps my digestion strong. It keeps my skin clear. Many people jump straight into heavy breakfasts or strong coffee. They shock their systems instead of welcoming the morning softly. The body is like a delicate instrument. If you treat it with kindness, It rewards you with strength and resilience. After my warm drink, I step outside, even if it is cold or rainy. I feel the air on my face. I listen to the birds, the distant sound of a car, the whisper of the wind through the trees. Many people underestimate this act. We have forgotten the language of nature. We think fresh air is just a nice extra, but it is as necessary as food. Every cell in my body wakes up when the cool morning air touches my cheeks. I move my fingers, stretch my neck, and feel alive. Sometimes I walk to the edge of the garden and watch the sun rise slowly. The light spills over the land like golden water. In those moments, I feel like a child again. Curious, joyful, free. Living alone at 94 is not always easy. There are days when the silence feels heavy. Days when the joints ache and the memories visit like old ghosts. But my morning habits anchor me. They remind me that I am more than my age, more than my aches. Each habit is a promise I make to myself, to respect this body, to cherish this mind, to keep my spirit playful. I see many people half my age trapped in cycles of exhaustion. They wake up already stressed, already behind, already disconnected from themselves. They rush through breakfast, stare into screens, and fill their heads with noise. By the time they realize they are tired, it is already too late. Their energy is scattered, their joy forgotten. I have chosen a different path, a path of stillness and gentle discipline. When you live alone at 94, you become your own caretaker. There is no one to tell you to get up, no one to cook your meal, no one to remind you to take your medicine. But I do not need medicine. I have my morning secrets. They have kept my blood pressure normal. My heart beats strong and steady. My mind is sharp enough to remember the names of the birds and the scent of each season. I laugh easily. I cry sometimes too. But I never feel empty. These habits are my silent companions. They do not cost money. They do not require a fancy gym or an expensive spa. They only require commitment. A gentle, loving commitment to oneself. Some might think these habits are too simple to make a difference. But simple does not mean weak. In my long life, I have learned that the simplest things often carry the deepest wisdom. A breath, a stretch, a sip of warm water, a step outside, a moment of gratitude. Each of these is a seed. If you plant them daily, they grow into a forest of strength and peace inside you. People ask me what supplements I take. I tell them I take none. They ask me about my medications. I say I have none. They think I am joking, but I am not. I do not fear hospitals, but I do not wish to live in them. I have chosen to live in my own body, to make it my temple. Sometimes I think about death. It does not frighten me. I see it as another breath, an exhale that never turns back into an inhale. But until that final exhale comes, I want each morning to be a small celebration, a quiet festival of life. When I look back on my life, I see many storms. I have lost people I loved. I have felt betrayal. I have faced sickness. But each time, I returned to my habits. They were my anchor in the stormy sea. You cannot control the waves of life. You can only learn to surf them with grace. I do not tell you these things to impress you. I tell you because I want you to feel the power that lives in your own mornings. You do not need to wait until you are 94 to start. You can start tomorrow, or today, or right now. Imagine waking up and taking a few moments to feel your breath. Imagine stretching your arms like a tree welcoming the sun. Imagine sipping warm water, that hugs your insides. Imagine stepping outside and greeting the day like an old friend. Imagine choosing gratitude before anything else. These small rituals will begin to shape your mind, your body, and your spirit. When you take care of your mornings, you take care of your life. Each morning is a blank page. You can fill it with fear or love, with hurry or patience, with noise or silence. I choose silence and presence. I choose to feel each moment instead of running past it. That is my real medicine. When people ask me my secret, I smile. I tell them I have no secret. Just 5 small habits that weave a tapestry of health around me. No fancy words, no hidden formulas. Just simplicity and consistency. Living alone teaches you that you're your own best friend and your own worst enemy. In the end, it is always you who must decide how to live. These habits are my daily conversation with life. They tell life, I respect you. I do not take you for granted. And life answers back, then I will stay with you a little longer. I will keep your legs steady, your mind clear, your heart light. There is a deep philosophy in this dance. A philosophy of patience, respect, and love. If you are reading this and you are young, do not wait to start. Youth is not an excuse to neglect your mornings. Youth is the best time to build the foundation that will carry you into old age. If you are older and feel it is too late, believe me, it is not. Even one small step today will plant a seed for tomorrow. You do not need to do it perfectly. You just need to do it with sincerity. With each passing year, I have become more gentle with myself. I no longer chase perfection. I chase presence. As I sit here writing these words, I hear the wind brushing against the window. The sun is climbing higher. My tea has grown cold, but my spirit is warm. I feel each word flowing from my heart to yours. I imagine you sitting there, perhaps with worries, perhaps with hopes. I want you to know that you are not alone. We are all walking this path together. My 94 years have taught me that in the end, we all seek the same thing. Peace, connection, a feeling that our life matters. I do not know how many more mornings I have left, maybe hundreds, maybe just a few, but I will greet each one the same way. With gratitude, with movement, with breath, with simplicity, with the wild joy of stepping outside and feeling the wind against my face. These are my 5 morning habits. They are not just habits. They are my life's philosophy made visible. They are my promise to the universe that I will keep dancing as long as I can. And maybe, just maybe, they will inspire you to begin your own gentle revolution. So tomorrow morning, when you open your eyes, pause. Feel your breath. Stretch slowly. Sip something warm. Step outside. Whisper thank you, and watch how your life begins to change, one sacred morning at a time.